The Pittsburgh Steelers have made some moves this offseason that are just starting to pay dividends in a way that no one's really talking about. And these changes are most notably at off-ball linebacker. And this is signifying a big defensive change this year. And that's a really good thing. I'm going to go to this story on Steelers.com. And what's up? This is Sports Talk Steelers. Like and subscribe. This is a brand new endeavor. It's a brand new channel. I'm part of a Sports Talk family, and we love covering the NFL. I am primarily a Chicago Bears fan. I have a successful channel, but I really want to give you guys some impartial coverage. And frankly, you guys have been fleecing the Bears in trades for years. So it would be great to show you some love. So let's kind of look at this. These off-ball linebackers that have been added, most notably Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. Why is this so important? And I think the reason is that the Steelers are looking to shift their defensive strategy, moving towards a nickel defense as a primary package for the upcoming season. And if not the primary package, at least the Steelers defense can shift into nickel at will. And that's something that was a struggle last year, just mostly due the personnel just wasn't there. So let's kind of look at this. And the reason that they are unable to do so last year is particularly due to a lack of suitable off-ball linebackers. And that's really been remedied with the addition of Patrick Queen, Patrick Wilson, that really enhances the capability in it. And it actually mirrors the successful nickel usage of teams like their Saturday opponent, the Buffalo Bills. And this change, I would say, is expected to bolster their defense against common offensive formations in the league and kind of counteract all the proliferation of passing, the use of tight ends. This is going to allow the Steelers to cover in a new way and to do so with versatility. So the Steelers now have the ability to play more in the nickel, and that's just a good thing once again. The Steelers, as far as the percentage last year, so give you some perspective, they used the nickel defense 38% of the time in 2023. That made it their most typical defensive package that they used. But at face value, that really means nothing because the NFL average for nickel package usage is 60%. So now with Queen, Wilson above other players, there's just a greater ability to successfully make the nickel their base package. And there's a lot to say that it might need to be the number one package that they use. So in short, Steelers now have the linebackers that have the ability to shift to the more preferred scheme and just, well, basically cover. And that's a very good thing. This versatility is going to play huge dividends. And that's what this week's preseason opponent, the Buffalo Bills, that's what they've done for the past several seasons with a lot of success. The Bills have regularly used the nickel package on over 90% of their defensive snaps in recent seasons. So what's the nickel package? Let's be clear here. Utilizes a 4-man front, 2 off-ball linebackers, 5 defensive backs, and the Steelers, due to personnel, they've had to play a ton of dime the nickel, and that's not something that we want predominantly to see. And in last weekend's preseason opener against the Texans, primarily nickel defense when going to a sub package. And this is to hear from defensive coordinator Austin. We want to get in there and see what it's like. Some of those backers don't get 3rd and longs, but there's no need. I think at this point, we want to see our guys playing and see how they handle situational football, see how they handle some things in space, because you've got to learn about it in game situations. So that's why it was just nickel. And I agree. Getting this experience out in space for these linebackers is so vital. And we're looking at them doing so because they had the linebackers, right? In Buffalo, underrated Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds, and even with Edmonds leaving in free agency last year and Milano getting injured, the Bills were still atop the NFL in terms of nickel usage. It's like it's in their DNA. I can't talk today. Sorry, you guys. It's imprinted on this team. Is that better? So they, even though they had injuries, they still had the personnel and they still had the ability to drop into nickel usage, and their defense was very successful. And there's a reason that teams utilize the nickel a lot. It's because the primary offensive package in the league is 11 personnel. So what's 11 personnel? 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers on the field. So if a defense sticks in its base defense against that, the offense will just pick it apart, right? They're just going to throw the ball. And if it goes to a dime, the defense is more susceptible to running plays. I mean, you guys have played Madden football. You totally know how effective the nickel defense is. And yeah, I think it's a great thing that now the Pittsburgh Steelers are able to predominantly use that package. And this is to hear more from Coach Austin. I think we do with PQ and Peyton because those guys can really run. That gives us an opportunity to maybe stay in nickel in some situations when previously we might not. And also, if you think about it, it's not all about the linebackers either. So we've got corner Dante Jackson. You guys know that's in the trade with Carolina for Deontay Johnson. He ran in the 4.3s when he came out of LSU. So that's awesome. We've also got an ascending player due to some injuries, but now he's getting a huge chance to contribute, and that's Beanie Bishop. He is a fantastic undrafted free agent that you guys have unearthed. He's currently on the top of the depth chart at nickel. So, and then we've got Deshaun Elliott. He runs a 4.58 40. And it's really good. And Elliott's noticeably faster than Keanu Neal. That's who managed the position last year for a good portion of the year. And it's just, it's just a big improvement. And it's not all about linebacker. It's also about guys in the second and third levels as well. And this is to hear one more thing from assistant GM and Andy Weidel. He said of this trade that brought Jackson from Carolina in exchange for Johnson. One of the things we talked about is getting faster on defense. And we always respected Dante Jackson and his play style, his speed, ability to play the ball, his willingness to tackle, the energy he played with. And we saw it as an opportunity. And I think one of the things we did in this offseason is we increased our team speed in the second and third levels of our defense, not only with the addition of him, Peyton Wilson, Patrick Queen, Beanie Bishop, and Deshaun Elliott. I mean, this team has become fast on defense, and that should allow for way more versatility, allow for way more takeaways, you would think. With speed kills, versatility makes it more possible to mix up defensive fronts. And I would absolutely love to see the Pittsburgh Steelers play in this nickel package. I don't know if you'll see 90% of the time like the Buffalo Bills last year, but definitely getting closer to that 60% of the plays average that most teams in the NFL employ. Hey, just really good additions. And now you're looking at a really strong defense from linebacker to cornerback to safety. A little thin with some injuries, but I think it's a huge win. You guys let me know what you think. You guys, it's been a great offseason. It's going to be a good game tomorrow. So catch you later. See ya.